Another update to Canvas that's going to actually hit us on January 1st, so I would recommend people get in now, turn it on in their course, and start using it, is going to be the new release of the new Gradebook. This is something kind of like new quizzes that you can go into your courses now and enable. It gets you prepared for when that changeover happens, but B, there's actually some enhanced features in the Gradebook that a lot of people have been getting some really good feedback on from here within Richmond. So just a reminder how to turn on that is we're going to go to settings, and we're going to click on the tab that says feature options, and we're going to click on where it says new Gradebook. We're going to toggle that on. By doing that, that turns on the new Gradebook for your course. So when we look at grades, it won't look dramatically differently unless you actually look side by side with the old Gradebook and new Gradebook. The biggest difference is a lot of the options have been collapsed into drop-down menus. It gives you some more real estate to work with. It's just a much cleaner look. So at the over here on the Gradebook drop-down, really it still had learning mastery, and it still had an individual view, but you can look at a gradebook history, just activity of when you updated grades, added grades, things like that. The view, that's some big enhancements, specifically on the arrange by. By default in the old or existing Gradebook, assignments went in oldest to newest. So if you wanted to look at recently submitted assignments in the Gradebook, you had to scroll all the way to the right. Now you can actually sort them oldest to newest or newest to oldest, so your newest stuff shows up first. You can also do assignment name alphabetically, point value, or by module. Filters allows you to kind of, if you wanted to focus in on, if you had like an assignment group that's called tests or an assignment group called projects, you can do some sorting there to kind of give you some enhanced views there. The other thing that we can do here actually is look at statuses. You can actually go in and, depending if something was turned in late, submitted, resubmitted, missing, dropped, or excused, you can put these custom, you can change the colors in there as well, so that you can visually see on the Gradebook, kind of from a bird's eye view, you can kind of see patterns and see trends for individual students or for groups of students. So that's just going to be the color coding that shows up in the actual Gradebook itself. We can turn on or show unpublished assignments. That way you can see them, but if you just want to get rid of them, you can uncheck it and it just shows active assignments. Under actions, under one more thing I want to show you here is the notes. So you can actually put notes about students here. They don't see it. No one sees it except you. It's just if there's something that you need to know as you're in the Gradebook that's helpful to know about an individual student, it shows up on the notes page. Now when we jump over to actions, that's going to be where you'll actually post these grades to PowerSchool. In the existing Gradebook, there's a standalone button that says sync grades. Now you're going to go to actions, sync to post grades. And assuming you've got the assignment set up correctly, so it's not too long of a name, the name is not repeated anywhere else, you have a due date, and some of those other checklist things to make assignments post to PowerSchool, you'll just click sync to post grades, and that's what actually pushes those assignments over into PowerSchool. Over here on the settings wheel, this is where you can set some course grading policies. So for example, you can do late policies. You can automatically, I clicked it too fast. You can automatically assign a score for late, or missing submissions. Let's give it a second here. I think I got click happy. Let's try it one more time. 3. Okay, here we go. So late policies. So you can automatically apply a grade for missing submissions. So once that due date hits, if it's not turned in, you can give it any percentage here you want. For some reason on my MacBook, it does not like when I put 0 in, but oh, good, it took it. Awesome. So if you're a 0 person for something not turned in, just to kind of get the student's attention, it will automatically assign that score of 0 if the due date passes and nothing has been submitted. You can also do deductions for late submissions. So if you wanted to do a percentage deduction per day, you could certainly do that with a lowest possible grade percent. The grade posting policy, this really has to do with some students, or excuse me, some teachers have used the mute assignment feature in the old gradebook, which basically meant that grades wouldn't be posted until you're finished grading. You can certainly do that here. They just don't call it muting the assignment. They're basically looking, it's called grade posting policy. By default, with new assignments created after you've enabled the new gradebook, assignments are going to be posted as soon as they're entered. So as soon as it's graded, it shows up for the students. If you've hidden particular grades, they'll remain hidden. So really, where that comes into play is if you make the change to the new gradebook in the middle of a term, you're going to see a little I with a line through it at the top of that column for those assignments. If that's the case, all you need to do is go in and say, I think it's post grades, and it'll show those grades. Basically what it's doing is it's hiding the grades from people that have not submitted the assignments. So the whole giving it a score of 0 if they don't submit it, it doesn't really inform them that they get a 0. So you only actually need to go in and hit that post grades button. That's only going to apply, from our understanding, to assignments that already existed in the gradebook when you made the switch. So that being said, if you've already got assignments in the gradebook and you make the switch, all those old assignments show up. You don't have to worry about that. But that's the only thing we've seen, is that I with the line through it showing up. If you want to manually post grades, meaning no one sees their grades until I say they see their grades, you can change it here at this level as well. So that's the new gradebook. The biggest takeaway from that is it's going to be January 1st. The old gradebook goes away. This will be the only gradebook. So I would encourage you, go in, start using it in your classes. That way you're more comfortable. Plus you can take advantage of some of the other features.